The Roman Empire's story begins long before it became an empire. In 753 BCE, Rome was founded, according to legend, by Romulus and Remus. This myth, while not historically verifiable, gave Rome an origin story rooted in survival and triumph, fitting for a city that would dominate the ancient world for centuries. From its earliest days, Rome was marked by its ability to adapt, assimilate, and expand. Initially, Rome was ruled by kings, but dissatisfaction with monarchic rule led to a pivotal moment in 509 BCE. The Roman people overthrew their last king, Tarquin the Proud, and established a republic. This new system of governance was revolutionary for its time, balancing power among elected officials, the Senate, and the assemblies. The idea was simple: no single individual could hold unchecked power. This system laid the groundwork for Rome's rise to dominance. The Republic, however, was not without its struggles. Early on, Rome had to assert its dominance over its neighbors on the Italian peninsula. Through a combination of military conquest and strategic alliances, Rome secured its position. The Roman legions, known for their discipline and innovative tactics, became the backbone of Rome's expansion. Unlike other ancient armies, Roman soldiers trained rigorously, often building roads, fortifications, and bridges as they advanced. These engineering feats not only secured their victories, but also connected the expanding republic. A significant milestone in Rome's ascent was its victory in the Punic Wars against Carthage. Fought over more than a century, these wars tested Rome's resolve. The Carthaginian general Hannibal famously crossed the Alps with war elephants, bringing the fight to Rome's doorstep. Despite suffering devastating losses, Rome's resilience shone through. By 146 BCE, Carthage was destroyed, and Rome emerged as the dominant power in the Mediterranean, a title it would hold for centuries. As Rome expanded, it assimilated the cultures of the peoples it conquered. The Greeks, in particular, left a profound mark on Roman society. Roman architecture, philosophy, and art drew heavily from Greek influences, creating a cultural fusion that would shape Western civilization. In Rome itself, monumental public works flourished. The construction of aqueducts brought clean water to cities, public baths became centers of social life, and amphitheaters hosted grand spectacles. However, with expansion came growing pains. Wealth from conquests poured into Rome, but it created vast inequalities. The elite class grew richer, while small farmers and the urban poor struggled. Political corruption seeped into the Senate, and Rome's governance began to falter. By the 1st century BCE, the Republic faced an existential crisis. Enter Julius Caesar, a general whose ambition matched Rome's might. In 49 BCE, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, an act of defiance that sparked a civil war and signaled the end of the Republic. After emerging victorious, Caesar declared himself dictator for life. His assassination in 44 BCE plunged Rome into chaos, but it also set the stage for a new era. Caesar's heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus, rose to power. In 27 BCE, he became the first Roman emperor, marking the birth of the Roman Empire. Under Augustus, Rome entered its golden age, the Pax Romana. This 200-year period of relative peace allowed Rome to reach its zenith, with an empire stretching from the British Isles to Egypt and from Hispania to Mesopotamia. Yet, even during this period of prosperity, challenges loomed. The empire's vastness, its reliance on conquest for wealth, and its internal inequalities hinted at vulnerabilities that would later lead to its decline. Rome's rapid expansion was both its greatest triumph and its most significant burden. By the 2nd century CE, the empire encompassed territories across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. With over 50 million inhabitants and borders stretching thousands of miles, Rome's logistical challenges became increasingly apparent. The empire's vastness demanded a sophisticated bureaucracy and an extensive military presence. The legions, stationed along frontiers like the Rhine and Danube, were tasked with defending against constant threats. Germanic tribes to the north, Parthians to the east, and desert raiders in North Africa all posed persistent challenges. Maintaining these defenses placed an immense financial strain on the state. Rome's provinces were vital to its economy, supplying taxes, resources, and enslaved labor. However, heavy taxation and corrupt provincial governors bred resentment among local populations. In some areas, such as Judea, this led to uprisings that required significant military intervention. The Jewish revolt of 66 to 73 CE, for instance, drained resources and highlighted the empire's struggle to maintain control over its far-flung territories. The economic backbone of Rome had long been its ability to conquer new lands and extract wealth. However, as Rome reached its natural geographic limits, the steady influx of resources began to dwindle. To address budget shortfalls, emperors resorted to debasing the currency, reducing the silver content of coins while increasing their circulation. This practice led to rampant inflation, destabilizing the economy and eroding public trust in Roman currency. Social inequality also deepened during this time. Wealth became concentrated in the hands of a small elite who owned vast agricultural estates called latifundia. These estates displaced small farmers, forcing them to move to cities where they joined a growing underclass. In urban centers, the government attempted to pacify the poor with free grain and public spectacles, including gladiatorial games and chariot races. However, this system of bread and circuses only masked the deeper structural issues. Even Rome's military began to show signs of strain. Recruitment became increasingly difficult as fewer citizens were willing to serve. To fill the ranks, the empire relied on foreign mercenaries and auxiliaries. While effective in the short term, these troops lacked the loyalty and discipline of traditional Roman legions. Over time, this reliance weakened the military's cohesion and effectiveness. Infrastructure, one of Rome's greatest achievements, also began to deteriorate. Roads, aqueducts, and public buildings required constant maintenance, but financial constraints often left these projects neglected. The decline in infrastructure disrupted trade and communication, further compounding Rome's challenges. Despite these mounting pressures, the Roman Empire remained a formidable power. Its administrative systems, engineering innovations, and cultural influence allowed it to endure. However, the cracks in its foundation were growing, setting the stage for a period of profound crisis. By the 3rd century CE, Rome faced a perfect storm of crises. Political instability, economic decline, and relentless external threats converged, plunging the empire into chaos. This period, known as the 3rd century crisis, nearly brought the Roman Empire to its knees. The root of this instability lay in Rome's system of succession, or lack thereof. Unlike monarchies, where inheritance provided a clear line of succession, the Roman Empire relied on a combination of military support, political maneuvering, and at times, outright violence to determine the next emperor. This ambiguity led to frequent power struggles. Between 235 and 284 CE, the empire saw nearly 50 emperors rise and fall, many meeting violent ends through assassination or defeat in battle. Civil wars became a constant feature of this period. Generals vied for control, leveraging their armies to seize power. These internal conflicts drained resources, weakened the military, and disrupted governance. Provinces became increasingly autonomous as local leaders prioritized their own survival over loyalty to the central government. Externally, Rome faced relentless invasions. Germanic tribes launched frequent raids across the Rhine and Danube, while the Persian Empire pressed into the eastern provinces. In 260 CE, Emperor Valerian was captured by the Persians, a humiliation that underscored Rome's vulnerability. This emboldened Rome's enemies, further eroding the empire's stability. Adding to these challenges was a devastating pandemic, often referred to as the Plague of Cyprian. This disease swept through the empire, killing millions and reducing the labor force. The resulting population decline weakened the economy and left many provinces defenseless. Amid this chaos, Emperor Diocletian rose to power in 284 CE. Recognizing the need for reform, he implemented sweeping changes. Diocletian divided the empire into the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, each governed by its own emperor and supported by a junior co-emperor. This system, known as the Tetrarchy, temporarily stabilized the empire and allowed for more efficient administration. However, while these reforms addressed some immediate concerns, they also created a permanent division that would later weaken the West. By the 4th and 5th centuries CE, external pressures on Rome reached a breaking point. The Huns' movements pushed Germanic tribes like the Visigoths into Roman territory. Granted asylum in 376 CE, the Visigoths faced exploitation, leading to rebellion and the devastating Battle of Adrianople in 378 CE. The Roman legions were defeated and Emperor Valens was killed, marking the end of Rome's military dominance. The Visigoths, emboldened by their victory, roamed freely, sacking Rome in 410 CE under Alaric. This symbolic blow shattered the city's image as invincible. Later, the Vandals crossed into North Africa and sacked Rome again in 455 CE, causing widespread destruction. Attila the Hun, known as the Scourge of God, ravaged Europe, but famine and disease halted his 452 CE advance into Italy. By this time, Rome relied heavily on mercenaries, whose shifting loyalties weakened its defenses. In 476 CE, Romulus Augustulus, the last Western Roman emperor, was deposed by Odoacer, a Germanic chieftain, marking the Western Empire's end. The Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, would preserve Rome's legacy for another 1,000 years. Rome's rise and fall also serve as a warning. Overreach, inequality, corruption, and reliance on mercenaries remind us that even the greatest powers must adapt or perish. Its enduring legacy is a testament to human ingenuity and a guide for future civilizations. The fall of the Roman Empire was not a single event, but a complex process that unfolded over centuries. It was shaped by internal decay, economic instability, and relentless external pressures. Yet Rome's legacy endures. Its contributions to law, governance, architecture, and culture continue to shape the modern world, reminding us of the heights humanity can achieve and the lessons history can teach us. What do you think of Rome's transformation from republic to empire and its eventual fall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us for more Chronicles of Eris. Stay tuned for more deep dives into history's most fascinating stories.